Peace, everybody. This is Sandler Francois of Premier Paralegal. I am the creator of the Start Over Machine, one of the greatest divorce systems in New York State. We offer compassion, we offer care, and we offer realistic optimism about the divorce process, how it starts, how you endure it through the middle, and how you successfully end it. And today I had an awesome day. It's still the beginning of the year, and I think it's applicable for me to send this out because it's time for men to stop being afraid. Ladies, believe it or not, as tough as guys appear to be, as silent as we appear to be, we're really sensitive, we get hurt, and we use different means of showing it than perhaps you would. We may curse, we may get really silent, we may throw things. We're an idiot if we decide to hit things or people. That's another story. But we express it through different means than you would expect. And you may say you know this, but you really don't. Because I meet a lot of men that are simply afraid to speak to you, their wife, or their significant other, when times are tough in the relationship. And especially if it gets as far as a divorce. You know, the majority of people that I know that are holding up the divorce process are men. Either men run off, they'll get into another relationship, and they won't tell their spouse. Or they do tell their spouse, but then they move in with the other person, or they move out altogether. And sometimes I've met people even that have been married for 30 years, 40. There was one, I know of a couple, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this over 15 years. And I remember I worked for a company and I met a woman that was 82 years old. And her husband, who was either 82 or 83, they were married for 50 years, lived in the same house, except for 40 some odd of those years, he lived upstairs and she lived downstairs. The kids went up and down, and some may say that's cool and that's fine. I'm not here to judge relationships or how you choose to express your family dynamic, but they were angry at each other and they hated each other. And even though I said they came into the office that I was working in at that time out in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, they came in together, I didn't tell you, their children were sitting between them to keep them from hurting each other. They drove separately. So they remained husband and wife for 50 years or 52, 53 years. And the reason why? The husband said, I'm not divorcing her. She has to divorce me. I'm not the one who messed up. And he didn't want to sign the papers. Long story short, without taking up too much of your time, he was afraid. He was afraid of being alone. He was afraid of his wife probably saying some of the worst things that would expose his weakness and his vulnerability. And women fall in this situation too, but I'm just honing in on the men because we lack a lot of manhood in the world. And I like to think that some of the males watching this are real men, so they're probably either nodding their head in agreement, knowing that a lot of men are scared to just start over. But I refuse to know anyone that would allow themselves to suffer through such torment. They're very likely dead now. That was 20 years ago, so they probably are dead. Either that or they'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Say some of the oldest people in New York or Brooklyn, whatever. But what a life of hell. Self-imposed hell. Self-imposed prison. And you say divorce is bad? Really? Sometimes staying married is even worse. I'm big on choice. What are you big on? Complaining? Suffering? Blaming? Or growing? Just a thought. Little thought. Maybe it's worth something. Carry on. I think it's going to snow tomorrow. Whenever you watch this, it might be the summertime. It might snow tomorrow. That was just a thought before I wrap up for the day. That was pretty good. Enjoy.